I'm Stephen Foskett. I organize the Tech Field Day events, and I also write and speak on storage topics. I'm here in California with Truth in IT, doing my Truth in Storage seminar, and I got a chance to catch up with John Joyner. John, you work with the Almond Board of California. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization?
Sure. Well, the Almond Board of California is a federal instrumentality of the USDA, and we are a federal marketing order. And we answer to our constituents who are, a variety of almond industry members. And our job is to promote the California almond and the sustainability, nutrition, health research, as well as some of the good agricultural practices and good manufacturing practices out in the field. And I am the Associate Director of Corporate Technology, and happy to be here.
So John, what were you looking to solve when you went looking for a storage solution?
Sure. We were trying to solve a few things. We were trying to find a vendor, manufacturer that we could trust, someone who had a reliable technology, something that was blazing fast but offered a level of security and redundancy, as well as a very strong price point because we're quasi-governmental, and that had the same sense of urgency and the level of customer service that we provide to our constituents in a manufacturer.
So John, why don't you tell me a little bit about the IT environment of your organization?
Sure. Well, we are running a VMware environment with well over 40 VMs. We've got about 40 terabytes worth of capacity right now. Mm-hmm. And we're running a variety of web environments. We are a Microsoft shop, and we do have a very large SharePoint environment as well that we are currently expanding. And the Almond Board of California is a global entity, so we are diversifying across boundaries, and as well as our co-location facility in Sacramento.
Okay, so you have multiple sites and pretty typical enterprise applications.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I understand that you guys chose XIO storage. Why would you go with XIO? What technical elements attracted you to the XIO solution?
Sure. The biggest thing that drew our attention to XIO was some of the self-healing drive capabilities, and the fact that there was a industry standard 5-year warranty with them. Mm-hmm. And that coupled with some of the other technology that they had for load balancing and throughput enhancement were really beneficial to the environment we were trying to build.
Mm-hmm. And is it just one type of storage, or do you have multiple products?
We do have two different types of products. We have an ICE 5000 and we have a brand new Hyper 288. Mm-hmm. The ICE 5000 is being used at our Colo facility in Sacramento, whereas the 288 Hyper is being used on premise in Modesto.
Yeah, we heard about the Hyper at the Tech Field Day recently, and that's a really high performance storage system, right?
It really is, yes.
Is that what you were looking for when you went for that?
It is, because we run a lot of SQL applications. A lot of our web applications are SQL based. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we heard from both Microsoft and XIO were the fact that it runs SQL really fast. Mm-hmm. And we did see the difference when we migrated away from our 5000 to the Hyper, mm-hmm. Particularly in our SharePoint environments. The SharePoint environments just ran so much faster.
Yeah, and that's an I/O intensive application too. So, and what other things did you consider, and what were the reasons that you decided to go with XIO over all the other storage products out there?
I think one of the main reasons why we decided to go with XIO, aside from that 5-year mm-hmm.
Warranty
and some of the performance gains that we saw, was really the support.
Mm-hmm.
Their support is tremendous, mm-hmm. and as we've seen with them and working with them, whether it's in setup or just simply the repair of a disk pack, mm-hmm. they've been on it with us. They contact us before we mm-hmm. know that there are issues with the hardware that we have.
Yeah.
So it's been fantastic.
So it sounds like you're really attracted to it, maybe even more for the reliability angle than the performance or the architecture of the system. The fact that you can buy it and run it and not have to worry about it.
It's really nice not to have to worry about your SAN.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. What about manageability? That's another thing that they talk about an awful lot, is ease of use, ease of configuration, mm-hmm. flexibility, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Bringing on brand new LUNs is so easy to do with their mm-hmm. software. And again, it's all web-based, and they do have hooks into VMware vCenter,
yep.
which makes it easy to create new LUNs, expand. It's just nice to have kind of a one-stop shop when having to deal with our virtual platform and our storage needs.
Yeah. So you're not really all that interested in being, deep into storage. You really just want something that works and,
Correct.
Holds your data reliably, gets your data back when you need it,
That's
that
right.
sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And why would you stick with them in the long term? What is the trust factor? How does that work for you?
The trust factor has been that they've really worked with us, not only on price because we are a quasi-governmental organization, but also from a scalability standpoint. Mm-hmm. They've really stood by us as we are expanding, the solutions that we have. And the migration from the very first Mag 4000, Mag 3D 4000 device to the ICE 5000 to now the Hyper, the migration was simple, and they were there to kind of guide us along the way. Again, their support is really what keeps us there. Their world-class customer service, their sense of urgency. Whenever we display a high sense of urgency, their staff is doing the same exact thing. And for us, that's worth its weight in gold.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for telling me about this.
Sure.
It's interesting. It's interesting to hear how people are really using this stuff in the real world. And since you guys focused on this one company, this one platform for your storage, I think it's interesting to hear the reasons for that. And I think there's a lot of relevance too in the reasons that people choose these things. In many cases, we like in storage to talk about bits and bytes and things like that. But really, it comes down to things like support and the buying experience, and more maybe than the technical aspects of the system. But of course, the technical aspects were attractive to you too, right?
Yes, it's all there. It's fast.
Excellent.
And it's reliable.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you very much for watching. Again, I'm Stephen Foskett. You can find me at blog.fosketts.net, where I write about storage. And John, where could they learn more about you?
You can learn about us by going to almonds.com.
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 I'm sure you can go to the grocery store too.
You can go to the grocery store. That's right. Any place that you can get almonds.
Well, thanks for joining us for this discussion on XIO storage. If you're interested in learning more, their website is xiostorage.com.